it really starts to feel like nobody is ready for something real anymore. Like you can show up honest, you can show up intentional, you can know what you want, and somehow still keep running into people who just are not on that same page. And that feeling right there can mess with you if you let it. I want to talk about this in a real way, not in a blaming way, not in a bitter way, but in a way that actually makes sense of what a lot of people are experiencing right now. Because if you have been feeling like this, you are not alone. For me, I had to really sit with this because I started noticing a pattern. I was meeting people, having conversations, seeing potential, but something always felt off. Either they were not consistent, or they were not clear, or they were not ready. And it kept happening in different forms with different people. And at first, I did what most of us do. I turned it inward. I started asking myself, what am I doing wrong? Why does this keep happening? Is it me? And that question can take you down a whole path if you are not careful. Because when you keep having similar experiences, it is easy to start thinking you are the common denominator in the wrong way, instead of stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is this: a lot of people say they want something real, but they are not actually ready for it. And that is the part nobody really talks about. Because wanting something and being ready for it are two completely different things. You can want a real relationship, you can want something stable, you can want something meaningful. But if you have not done the work to be that person, to show up that way, to sustain that kind of connection, then you are not ready. And that is what I started seeing more clearly. I started realizing that a lot of people are dating from a place of comfort, not from a place of intention. They want connection when it is easy. They want attention when it is convenient. They want closeness without responsibility. And the moment it requires consistency, communication, accountability, they pull back. And that creates confusion because you are sitting there thinking something is building, something is growing, and they are moving like it is temporary. And that disconnect is where the frustration comes from. I have had experiences where everything started off strong: good conversations, good energy, mutual interest, and then out of nowhere, the energy shifts. Less communication, less effort, less clarity, and you are left trying to figure out what changed. But what I had to realize is sometimes nothing changed. You are just now seeing what was already there, and that is a hard truth to accept because it means you were investing in something that was not as real as you thought. Another thing I noticed is how people avoid real conversations, conversations about intentions, about where things are going, about what they actually want. Because those conversations require honesty, and honesty requires accountability, and not everyone is ready for that. So instead of being clear, people stay vague, they stay in the middle, they keep things undefined, and that keeps them comfortable. But it keeps you confused, and I had to stop ignoring that. I had to stop telling myself to just go with the flow when the flow felt off. I had to stop minimizing the signs that something was not aligned, because those small signs are actually the biggest indicators. And this is where the shift happened for me. I stopped asking, why is nobody ready for something real? And I started asking, am I recognizing when someone is not ready? That changed everything. Because now it was not about trying to make something work, it was about seeing things clearly. I started paying attention to consistency. Not just words, but actions. I started noticing effort, not just in the beginning, but over time. I started looking at how someone handles discomfort, because real connection requires uncomfortable conversations. And if someone avoids that, they are not ready. I also had to be honest with myself about something. Just because I am ready does not mean the person I meet will be. And that is something you cannot control. And that realization can feel frustrating because you are doing the work, you are growing, you are becoming more aware, and you expect to meet people who are doing the same. But that is not always the case. And that does not mean you are off track. It might actually mean you are on a different level of awareness. And that is something I had to accept because once I did, I stopped taking things so personally. I stopped trying to force connections. I stopped trying to hold on to potential. I stopped trying to make sense of inconsistency, and I started letting things show me what they are, without trying to change it, without trying to fix it, without trying to convince myself it is something it is not. And that brought me a different kind of peace, because now I was not caught up in confusion, I was grounded in clarity. And that does not mean it became easy. It just became honest. And honesty saves you time. It saves you energy. It saves you from investing in something that is not aligned. And that matters. So if you have been feeling like nobody is ready for something real, I want you to shift how you are looking at it. Instead of seeing it as something wrong with you, see it as awareness. You are starting to recognize what is real and what is not. You are starting to see what aligns and what does not. And that is a good place to be, even if it feels frustrating, even if it feels like nothing is working. Because the truth is, what is meant for you will not require you to question everything. It will not require you to constantly figure it out. It will not leave you feeling confused about where you stand. It will feel clear, it will feel mutual, it will feel consistent, and that is the difference. So do not lower your standards just because you are not seeing it yet. Do not settle just because you are tired of waiting. Do not convince yourself to accept less just to fill a space, because that always costs you more in the long run. And I had to learn that. I had to learn how to be okay with not having what I want yet, without forcing something that is not right, without settling for something that does not align, without losing myself in the process. And that is a different kind of strength. So if you are in that space right now, keep going, keep growing, keep being honest with yourself, because the right connection is not something you have to force. It is something you recognize. And that makes all the difference. If you have ever felt like this, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your experience too. And if this resonated with you, go ahead and give this video a like. And subscribe to my channel if you want more real conversations like this. Over here, we talk about real things, things people feel but don't always say out loud. This is a space where you don't have to have everything figured out. I'm still learning and I'm still growing and figuring life out just like you. So if you want honest conversations and real perspective, you are welcome here. Until next time, be real with yourself. That's where everything starts, and wherever you are right now, it's okay. Just don't stay there.